Welcome back to the Explainer. Today, we're digging into something called GenaImpact L3. Now, what's so special about it? Well, it's a crypto architecture designed to take something we all pay, transaction fees, and turn them into a powerful engine for a completely self-sustaining economy. Sounds interesting, right?
All right, let's just start with a simple question. Think about all those fees you pay in DeFi. What if, instead of just, disappearing into the ether, they were actually put to work? What if they were used to build up and strengthen the very network you're invested in?
Well, that's exactly the big promise behind GenaImpact's Layer 3. We're talking about an architecture that's been built from the ground up to be lower cost, give you more control, and, this is the key part, generate real, sustainable yield.
Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll look beyond a single network to see what problem they're trying to solve. Then, we'll see how they're building on a new layer. After that, we'll get into their pretty unique two-token economy and the revenue flywheel that makes it all work. And finally, we'll zoom out to see the bigger picture, this whole ecosystem of value. All right, first up, beyond a single network. Let's talk about the big problem with DeFi as it stands today.
So, DeFi didn't just appear overnight, right? It's evolved in stages. You had Ethereum, the L1, which gave us that rock-solid security, but man, those fees were high. Then came Layer 2s, like Arbitrum, which were a huge deal because they brought scalability. So what's the next logical step? Well, it's all about specialization and efficiency, which is exactly where GenaImpact L3 comes in.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of building on this new layer. What exactly is the GenaImpact L3? Think of it like building a house. At the very bottom, the foundation, you've got Ethereum. That's your security layer. On top of that, you have Layer 2, Arbitrum One, which handles all the heavy lifting for scalability and execution. And then, at the very top, you have GenaImpact, a specialized, super low-cost layer just for its own applications. It's its own private, high-speed lane on the highway. So what's a Layer 3 really? It's basically a specialized blockchain built on top of a Layer 2. The whole point is to design it for one specific thing, in this case, the GenaImpact ecosystem. By doing this, they get insane throughput, super low costs, and, most importantly, way more control. It's like having your own custom-built racetrack instead of driving in city traffic.
All right, this next part is where things get really interesting. Let's talk about the two-token economy they've set up. It's all about fuel versus ownership.
So they've got this brilliant separation of powers. You've got GImpact on one side and GNIM on the other. Think of GImpact as the fuel. It's the operational currency, the gas that powers every single transaction on their Layer 3. Then you have GNM. That's the ownership token. It's like the stock in the ecosystem. It represents governance and captures that long-term value.
I love this analogy. Think of GImpact as the gas for the car and GNM as shares in the car company. It just makes perfect sense, doesn't it? One lets you drive the car, the other lets you own a piece of the company that built it. Simple, but really powerful.
Okay, so we have the tech, we have the tokens, but how does it all create value? Let's get into the core of the whole thing, the revenue flywheel. This thing is designed to make money from, well, pretty much everywhere. We're talking gas fees paid in GImpact, obviously, but also commissions from their TraderSensei vaults, fees for bridging assets across layers, and even fees from institutional clients who are white-labeling their vault tech. It's coming from all directions. And here's how that flywheel actually spins. Step 1, you, the user, do stuff. You deposit funds, you interact with the apps. Step 2, every single one of those actions generates gas fees in GImpact. Step 3, all those fees get collected in the GenaImpact treasury. And now for the magic, step 4, the treasury uses those funds to buy back GNIM tokens from the open market. This creates a constant buying pressure, increasing its value. It's a beautiful, self-sustaining loop.
And get this, the cost to the user is tiny. We're talking an average deposit cost of between just 4 and 18 cents. That's it. It's unbelievably cheap for you to use, but all those little fees add up to fuel that big revenue flywheel for the whole ecosystem.
So, let's pull back and look at the bigger picture here. This isn't just about one app. It's about building an entire ecosystem of value.
Yeah, this L3 infrastructure is the foundation for a whole multi-sector DeFi economy. Of course, you have the core TraderSensei vaults, but it also supports the Lotus initiative for halal-compliant finance, vaults for real-world assets, or RWAs, and even community impact projects. The key thing is all of these different sectors feed back into that same revenue flywheel, driving value for GNOM holders.
So what you're looking at is a truly self-sustaining DeFi economy. It's a place where yield, governance, and real-world impact are all part of one continuous, value-creating loop. It's not just tech. It's a whole economic philosophy.
And that's why they call GenaImpact the engine of sustainable DeFi wealth. It fundamentally changes the game by turning simple network activity into measurable revenue. This makes GEN not just another token, but a genuine growth asset that directly reflects the success of the whole ecosystem.
So it really leaves you with a big question, doesn't it? As DeFi grows up and moves beyond just hype, could this two-token L3 model actually become the new gold standard for building sustainable, long-term projects? It's definitely something to think about.